You know, there's a saying on the internet that you never go full McIntosh. You know, after the phrase you never go full retard from Tropic Thunder. Except in this case, going full McIntosh refers to behaving like Jonathan McIntosh. That's something nobody should do. Not even Jonathan McIntosh. But once again, Jono Mac's showing what a wonderful example of a human being he is by using yesterday's shooting in Oregon to play his favourite game, pin the tail on the honky. Because while everyone's mourning and grieving and struggling to find answers after another mass shooting in the United States of America, Johnny Mac is taking to Twitter once again and showing off his lack of any empathy whatsoever and stating that instead of asking why there are so many mass shootings in the United States, we should be asking why are there so many mass shootings in the United States committed by straight white men. Johnny Boy also adds that 95% of all mass shootings committed are by straight white men, and that should be front and centre in every newspaper article about shootings. What the fuck, man? Once again, Jonathan McIntosh proving that Jonathan McIntosh should not be taken seriously by fucking anybody. I mean, this should be front and centre in every newspaper story, and that we should be asking why mass shootings are committed by straight white men. Why? What relevance does that have to anything? Do we have any proof that this means anything? Have we proved there's a correlation between the two? Because otherwise, Jono, you're talking out your ass again, sunshine. This is once again the same stunning lack of empathy Jonathan McIntosh showed with the Charlie Hebdo terrorist attacks. Johnny Mac is once again using an inappropriate situation to push his fucking agenda on everybody, based upon his own self-loathing and self-hatred for the fact he is a straight white male. I mean, let's be honest. It's pretty easy if you're Jonathan McIntosh to look in the mirror and hate yourself. But the thing is, fucking being a straight white male is right down here on the list as far as things Jonathan McIntosh should hate himself for, guys. Because there's a fuck ton of things way above that he should hate himself for before that. You know, Jonathan McIntosh runs his yap. He's just like his buddy Anita Sarkeesian. He's just like Zoe Quinn. He's just like Brianna Wu. He does not give a fuck about anybody else but himself, his beliefs, and his agenda. And he will step over anybody and he will show off his fucking lack of empathy in order to do so. We know that Jonathan McIntosh blames everything on oppressive male shitlords. That's his thing. That's his deal. He's the one that taught Anita Sarkeesian most of what she knows after all. But anyone with a moral conscience and empathy for other people knows that fucking the white straight male factor doesn't mean a fucking thing. They're too busy grieving another senseless loss of lives through gun violence. Another shooting in a school in America. How many is too many? But then you got Jono Boy here thinking, oh, I'm so smart. I'm pointing out something nobody else has noticed. The reason they haven't noticed it is because it's not fucking relevant to anything, is it? It has no correlation to anything. It has no direct meaning. It's just asinine, stupid, and arrogant, and only appeals to those mindless sheep that blindly follow whatever the fuck Jonathan McIntosh says and play the kill all men, we hate white men fucking card. All because this fucking white Uncle Ruckus hates himself and hates other white men. And that's music to the ears of anyone else who wants to go out of their way to hate straight white men over nothing but the fact they're straight white men. And then you get your average Joe, your general smart person who can think for themselves, being put off by this kind of thing. It's like I said in my last video about militant vegans. They bypass their empathy, if they had any to start with, in order to push a message down people's throats, and in order to go, see, I'm right, they're the bad guy because someone like them did something bad. and it doesn't make sense. Like I say, the real issue isn't that Johnny Boy can point out that a straight white male went and shot up a school. The tragedy is that someone who shouldn't have had access to a gun got access to a gun, and we have another large contingent of people dead for no fucking reason. It's another senseless loss of human life that shouldn't have happened. That's the focus. That's what should be front and center. What can people do to avoid this type of shit happening? Because as Barack Obama said, it's become routine. The fact that Jonathan McIntosh used this tragedy to push his agenda down people's throats just goes to show you what kind of a callous, ghoulish scumbag Jonathan McIntosh is. But then, given Jonathan McIntosh's past actions, it's not really surprising now, is it? I don't put anything past Jonathan McIntosh anymore, and I don't think anything's beneath Jonathan McIntosh or his little squadron of cronies. He's a fucking weak, pathetic excuse for a human being. And maybe instead of going on about how he hates straight white males and they're part of the problem, this albino Uncle Ruckus should look in the mirror and ask himself, why do so many people hate my guts? And the answer should be pretty fucking plain. You're an asshole, Jonathan. You are a complete fucking asshole. And that's all there is to it. I'm Damian Skyfire. Till next time.